Nwanyioma, a gentle and loving wife, lived happily with her husband, Chijioke, in a serene village surrounded by lush green hills. Their union was blessed with harmony, and they were admired by neighbors for their unwavering bond. One sunny afternoon, Nkemdirim, Nwanyoma's younger sister, arrived unannounced. Nkemdirim, with her striking beauty and cunning charm, had always been the center of attention wherever she went. She claimed she needed a break from her village to clear her head, and Nwanyioma, with her kind heart, welcomed her warmly. Nkemdirim's arrival brought a shift in the atmosphere. She seemed overly eager to help with chores and took a peculiar interest in Chijioke's affairs. Nwanyioma, naive to her sister's intentions, thought it was her way of showing gratitude. Little did she know that Nkemdirim's gaze lingered too long on Chijioke, her mind weaving plans that would soon shatter the peace in their home. Nkemdirim had always been envious of her sister's life, feeling overshadowed by her kindness and the love she received from others. Watching Chijioke, a tall and handsome man with a deep voice and gentle demeanor, stirred something dangerous in her heart. She told herself it was a harmless admiration, but the fire of desire grew stronger each day. Chijioke, initially indifferent to Nkemdirim's presence, started noticing her deliberate actions. Her subtle touches, lingering glances, and a cold smiles began to unsettle him. At first, he avoided being alone with her, knowing it was inappropriate. But Nkemdirim was relentless, weaving her web with cunning precision. She praised him excessively, comparing him to other men and emphasizing how lucky her sister was. Slowly but surely, Chijioke found himself drawn to the younger sister's allure, unaware of the storm brewing beneath their roof. One evening, while Nwanyioma was out running errands in the market, Nkemdirim seized her chance. She prepared Chijioke's favorite meal and served it with a radiance that made her intentions clear. Chijioke, though hesitant, couldn't deny the attention flattered him. That night, as they sat across the dining table, Nkemdirim leaned closer, her words dripping with calculated affection. "Brother Chijioke, you are the kind of man every woman dreams of," she said, her voice soft yet bold. "It's no wonder my sister is so blessed." Chijioke tried to deflect her comments, but her gaze lingered. He felt a mix of guilt and temptation battling his conscience. By the time Nwanyioma returned, the air between them was heavy with unspoken words. Nkemdirim's advances grew bolder, and Chijioke's resistance weakened. That night, he lay beside his wife, but his mind was plagued with thoughts of her sister. Nkemdirim orchestrated opportunities to be alone with Chijioke. She lingered when Nwanyioma stepped out, claiming she wanted to keep him company. It started with innocent conversations, then progressed to stolen glances and subtle touches. One fateful afternoon, when Nwanyioma left for a village meeting, Nkemdirim made her move. "Brother Chijioke," she said, sitting too close on the sofa. "You were too kind to me. I feel safe around you." Chijioke tried to maintain his composure, but when Nkemdirim placed her hand on his, he faltered. That moment marked the beginning of their secret affair. They met in hidden corners and shared whispered promises, both knowing the danger of their actions. Nkemdirim reveled in her conquest, while Chijioke, torn between guilt and lust, succumbed to temptation. The affair intensified. Nkemdirim and Chijioke found excuses to spend time together, even in the matrimonial home. When Nwanyioma was away, they crossed boundaries, betraying her trust in the worst way imaginable. Nkemdirim began wearing revealing clothes around the house, under the guise of comfort. At first, Chijioke felt uneasy, but he soon felt accustomed to her presence, blinded by her beauty. Nwanyioma, oblivious to the betrayal, continued treating her sister with love and kindness. She had no reason to suspect that the very people she cherished were tearing her world apart. Nkemdirim and Chijioke grew careless, emboldened by their repeated escapades. One afternoon, as they shared an intimate moment in the living room, a neighbor caught a glimpse of them through the window. Shocked, the neighbor decided to stay silent, unwilling to involve themselves in family matters. The secrecy of their affair added to the thrill, but it also weighed heavily on Chijioke. Each time he looked into Nwanyoma's trusted eyes, guilt clawed at him. Yet, Nkemdirim's allure proved too powerful to resist. He convinced himself that it was a temporary lapse, a mistake he would soon correct. But Nkemdirim had other plans. Months passed, and Nkemdirim began to notice changes in her body. Her morning sickness and missed periods confirmed what she dreaded and desired in equal measure. She was pregnant. Panic set as she realized the consequences of her actions. She tried to hide the symptoms, but her growing belly betrayed her. Chijioke, upon learning of the pregnancy, was thrown into a whirlwind of emotion. Fear, anger, and shame overwhelmed him. This wasn't supposed to happen, he whispered, pacing the room. Nkemdirim, however, saw this as an opportunity to secure her place in his life. She assured him they would find a way to explain the situation, but Chijioke knew their secret wouldn't remain hidden for long. Nwanyioma began noticing changes in her sister's behavior. Nkemdirim avoided her gaze, and her once vibrant demeanor turned sober. She also observed Chijioke's unease, his sudden mood swings, and his reluctance to spend time with her. One evening, as they sat together, Nwanyioma confronted her sister. Nkemdirim, is something wrong? You have been distant lately. Nkemdirim shook her head, forcing a smile. I'm just tired, sister. Nothing more. But Nwanyioma wasn't convinced. The seeds of suspicion were planted, and she resolved to uncover the truth. Chijioke's guilt grew unbearable. He began withdrawn, avoiding Nwanyioma as much as he could. His laughter, once the life of their home, was now rare and forced. Nwanyioma, confused and hurt by her husband's coldness, sought solace in prayer, hoping their love would return to its former glory. Meanwhile, Nkemdirim's pregnancy became harder to find. She began wearing loose clothing and avoided sitting too close to Nwanyioma, fearing her sharp eyes might notice. Yet, the tension in the house was palpable. Nwanyioma sensed an invisible barrier forming between her and her sister, and her once peaceful home now felt like a battleground. One morning, as Nwanyioma fetched water from the village well, an elderly neighbor approached her. The woman hesitated, her face itched with concern. Nwanyioma, you are a good woman, and I don't want you to suffer, she began. Confused, Nwanyioma pressed for more information, but the neighbor only sighed. Be watchful of those you trust the most, she said cryptically before walking away. Nwanyioma returned home, her mind racing. She decided to pay a closer attention to her sister and husband, her heart heavy with dread over what she might discover. The truth came crushing down one fateful afternoon. Nwanyioma returned home earlier than expected from the market and found Chijioke and Nkemdirim in an intimate embrace in the living room. The shock rooted her to the spot, her basket slipping from her hands. Chijioke! Nkemdirim! She screamed, her voice trembling with rage and betrayal. Both turned pale, their secret laid bare. Chijioke stammered, trying to explain, while Nkemdirim fell to her knees, begging for forgiveness. But Nwanyima's world had already crumbled, the betrayal cutting deeper than any wound. Word of the scandal spread quickly. Elders from both families gathered to address the matter, their faces grim with disappointment. Chijioke confessed his infidelity, while Nkemdirim, clutching her growing belly, wept silently. The elders rebuked Chijioke for dishonoring his wife and condemned Nkemdirim's action as a betrayal of sisterhood. Nwanyioma, though heartbroken, maintained her dignity, refusing to let their disgrace break her spirit. "I will leave this matter to the gods," she said, her voice steady despite her tears. Chijioke's reputation in the village was tarnished, and Nkemdirim became the subject of gossip. Villagers avoided them, whispering behind their backs. Nkemdirim's once vibrant beauty faded under the weight of shame, and Chijioke, plagued by regret, found no peace in his home. Nwanyioma moved back to her parents' house, her heart heavy with sorrow. Though the pain was unbearable, she found solace in the love of her family. She vowed never to let bitterness consume her, determined to rebuild her life despite the betrayal. As Nkemdirim's pregnancy advanced, she realized the gravity of her actions. Chijioke, overwhelmed with guilt, grew distant, leaving her to face the consequences alone. The love she had fought so hard to steal now felt hollow, its foundation built on deceit. Every day, Nkemdirim endured the judgmental stares of villagers and the cold indifference of Chijioke. She wished she could undo the past, but the life growing inside of her was a constant reminder of her choices. Her once vibrant spirit was now a shadow of its former self, burdened by regret. The end. What do you think would happen to Nwanyoma's marriage? Are there any possibilities of them getting back together, despite Nkemdirim's pregnancy and deceit? Let us know in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories like this.